morning everybody and welcome to Wild Earth this morning. My name's Tara and joining me on camera this morning is Herman. Good morning! And back in final control is Craig, and it is a beautiful, warm, well, fairly warm, as warm as it can be here in winter time here at Juma Game Reserve. At least there's no mist this morning. But it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day today. I'm really excited. I'm hoping we're going to see some wonderful things this morning. There was some commotion down by the dam just a little bit earlier. I heard the geese going and some of the guinea fowl, and apparently there were possibly some leopard tracks up by Inga's house. So I think we'll have a quick drive around the dam, see if we can find anything there, and maybe head off into the east. But we'll keep our ears to the ground. There are a few people out this afternoon or this morning, so hopefully we'll have some luck with some wonderful things for you this morning. So let's climb up Port Gunda and see what we can go and find. I'm just going to let Gunda warm up just a little bit. Yeah. With it being diesel, you just have to let the glow plugs warm up. So if you ever wonder why we take our time to start up first thing in the morning, that is why. Now I just want to have a swing by Yuri's house, just see if the baboons are back yet. Now I wonder if the leopard may have been going after some guinea fowl. And there's a lot of commotion by the house last night. I remember hearing the guinea fowl sometime after dinner there.
Good morning, let's go. Morning, Dixon. How's the game this morning? Very well, thank you. That's a bit, so far no update. John's moving dial according somewhere
here. Monkey calling here.
John the dam.
Just here.
Okay, copy that fact. I'm going to check that fact. John limited.
There's a monkey sitting up there as well.
Yeah, also somewhere quarantine set, and we'll move on control for Israel heading towards the dam.
Okay, if they're calling, I wonder they might be going down this way. Let's go and just see if we can check it out quickly. Okay. Texan, come in. Good morning, Texan. We've got some cow calling just by Yuri's house. I'm going to just check down towards the dam as well.
Okay, there's some control for him with the cut straight towards that south. I'll go around that.
See, this one's not calling, so I think it is somewhere that side that they're seeing potential threat, and possibly is leopard. There has been some tracks seen. Where are you looking, monkeys? Could even be just in the bush here.
Back. Okay, confirm the rest of cover. that's deep now. Okay, cool, that's fine. We'll put you as a radio or something like this. Okay, okay. I'm going to hit in with the cut-off crossing at this dry area. Go down towards the gun. Just try to keep around. Okay, copy that. We'll start from that side. Got it, yeah. Just putting down towards the gun. So far, no luck.
So Texas coming from this side. I don't think this leopard's too far away. Could even be in the grounds of the lodge. We've got some buffalo coming down to the dam. Switch off here. There's buffalo there. I just want to see if we can hear anything else. So the monkeys aren't calling as often now, so maybe they can't see the threat anymore.
Subbing area at corridor.
Quite a few hippo there too. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So I did hear the geese calling, and there's no one calling down towards the dam, so I think it is further up this way. But it could have already crossed over towards the drainage line there. Which would be quite strange, because it did come from the house. Across the quarantine open area, by the house, down towards the dam. Okay, well there's a couple of vehicles there, so if they see him down towards the dam, we'll come back and have a quick look at the buffalo. But I just want to have another oh, hello. Looks like it's a few Duggar boys by the looks of it. Maybe just the forerunners mixed in from a big herd. Another quick look around here. You see where the monkeys are looking, that might just help us. I can't see the ones that are actually calling just in the back there. No one's walked up here as yet. Well, on the road at least. Let's just do a quick loop around so you can see the sun is rising now as well. Monkeys, why did you see the problem? Okay. It's the odd one or two calling. Let's just do a quick loop because it may be that there's something that's done a lap. So my guess is the leopard. I need to roll forward a little bit.
That's nice actually.
Beautiful. Well, let's see if we can head down to the dam and we might just be able to get the sun rising behind some buffalo. There's some monkeys. Still calling, but not as often as they were. Nearly got caught by my favourite log. It looks like a leopard's head looking down towards the dam. Those buffalo, they might just go sleeping away. There's some guinea fowl just tucked in behind a bush there. With them being on the ground and not talking. And it must be that side. It's either on that side of the dam or that side. The guys did drive past us and go around the quarantine area, so it could well be.
We had those couple of deposits got
There's the buffalo. Park here. Buffalo just disappeared behind the bush there. But we do have the hippos just to the right. Oh, and a pike kingfisher.
Also, just to say thank you to Tex, Aubrey, Eze, and Lex. Thanks very much for a great trip for us this morning. Okay, copy, thank you. And then that's the end of that one.
Monkeys have gone very quiet now. There's also a grey heron just on the opposite side of the bank too. Yeah, he's just off centre now, just to the right. That's a juvenile grey heron. And the monkeys are starting up again. So they must still be able to see the threat. They do have the height advantage over us. But no tracks to go off. We just know that the tracks came down here with the monkeys calling. Good morning to you, Deb. Welcome on board this morning. Wondering if the leopard will climb the tree to catch a baboon, or would it be too dangerous? And they are able to, and that's one of the reasons why the baboons and monkeys might actually react more to leopards than to lions, because lions, even though they can climb trees, they don't do it as often as the leopard, and they have to stick to the larger branches because they're so much heavier. But I have seen fully grown male lions in trees.
Nyari, west of Karikatlai, inside Befesuk, slowly heading south. Also one Konzo for Madadangala, heading west along the fire break.
Okay. Even the geese are being quiet now. So I think maybe the leopard walked into the drainage line just because there's no tracks coming out onto the quarantine area again. There's no tracks walking up here. If it was as close as I thought it was to the monkeys, I'd still be calling by now. There's nothing crossing over. So I'll go and have another look on the other side. We might be able to catch up with those buffalo as well. And it's another herd coming in from the south, and that could be part of the same herd as we've just seen. But keep your eyes peeled, you never know. We might bump into who's been upsetting the birds and the monkeys. And I didn't catch who was asking, but a few people have been asking where the camera is going to be. The waterhole camera. Now that's the tree. Actually, I should have said that before. That's the tree it was supposed to go in. The one that's nice and flattened now from the storm. So that's where it was going to be. And unfortunately now we don't really have any trees that are close to the dam that are in this area. So it's going to be going back pretty much where it was. And this tree just here, you might actually be able to see it. Little globe dome thing just in the centre of the screen now. And that is the waterhole camera. Odd looking thing. First time I've seen one of those. Oh, got a red-billed buffalo weaver just next to us. And the liquid call of the long-tailed shrikes. There he is. There's a few of them about. There we go. Bright red bill. Unfortunately, I can't show you one of the nests that were here because the tree also blew down, which it was in, and I'm hearing the monkeys calling again. They sat here. I haven't seen any movement. Maybe we should do one more drive around that area, just for good luck. Okay. Also heard something barking just behind us. Those trees are pretty tall, and as I say, they could see over this side. The leopard could have been cutting straight through the lodge. And with the geese on the ground that side, and they were calling, so they know something's been around. They might have seen it. They probably did see it, but they were calling. So I doubt they'd be on the ground if the predator's still that side. That's what makes me think it is up here somewhere. Whether it's crossed through the lodge and gone into the drainage line, or crossed through here. Could be, if they're just calling every so often, that it's still around and it's just lying down. Remember we had that once before. It was just a call and then stopped, and then a call and then stopped. And it was very intermittent, it wasn't very frequent, and the leopard stayed there all day, and there was just a call every so often from the monkeys. So it could be something lying down maybe over here, because it's not right next to the trees. They'll still be going and talking. And so we've got just the other side of the garden here. I'm hearing squirrel talking as well. But the monkeys aren't now. Could just be lying down in here. Another log. A log shaped, well, in the shape of a leopard. I thought I saw the head here. Maybe we should try. Still nothing coming out here. The monkeys. Maybe we'll just have a quick look at the monkeys, because they've gone quiet now. Now that we can see them, they're not calling. There's a couple more in that tall fever tree at the back. Still keeping a lookout. So it would have been quite useful just to see the direction, but I couldn't see where they were looking. And while the baboons are away, the vervets take over their home. So there must be, apart from the protection of the fence, this is the owner of Juma's garden. So it might be part of the protection that the fence offers. Could also be some warmth maybe from the house. When the baboons are here, they generally sleep here. And if the baboons are here, you generally won't find the vervets, although sometimes they will interact, sometimes they will play together, and I think Huey would play with the vervet monkeys quite a lot.
All vehicles given update for Sydney, please. Good morning, station. We have got one Madoda in the eastern side of the Bethersuk side. Inside Bethersuk, and it looks like it was the Ngaram Council direct something to the northern side. So when I check in, I find it, so maybe the Ngala around, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Thanks for making you responding now. Thank you. Andrew, stand by.
And there has been a leopard found over in Buffelshoek though.
I just bumped into the Ingwe now, but it was the Ngalam Council, looks like they've dragged something into this block. So when I get in, I just bump into the Ingwe. Confirm eastern side of Bethersuk side. Okay. Okay, copy that. We are making our way. Thank you. Yeah, but little bit towards the Govan, eastern side of the Govan.
I'm just going to see, there's been a leopard seen, but I'm just going to try and find out who it is. It's over in Buffelshoek, in that side apparently. So this has all gone quiet now, but I think we'll still have a quick check around Google Road and in the drainage line just to see anything's going on. Andrew, is there any possible view from Buffelshoek Cliff Line at all?
Yeah, for now not yet, but slowly heading south to that. Yeah, I will let you know.
Copy, thanks. Do you know who it is?
Yeah, don't.
Copy, thank you. Okay, it is in Duna. And he's just over in Buffelshoek at the moment. There's no view from the road. There's 3 vehicles that are responding. I'm going to keep my ear to the radio, and if he crosses over, if there's a gap, we'll see if we can go and find him. Copy, thank you. Can you put us on standby? Thank you. And it also sounds like possibly lions were around that area. Henry was saying he was following the lion tracks and he bumped into the leopard, who may have come to see what the lions were eating. Okay. Well, this leopard is well and truly hidden. It's still around here. So let's continue on, and we may just pop back a little bit later. Just say there's not too much to go on. I'm going to drive along the fence line just in case they are sleeping. I'm going to disturb them. But keep your eyes peeled. It's amazing, these clouds have just started pulling in now. There's a clear blue sky. It goes with a huge grin on the face. And the Egyptian geese are actually just off to the right, and they're usually pretty sharp-eyed. You can see the grey heron quite clearly now. And the adults have a beautiful white head with the black stripe on the crown. And there's the geese just coming into shot there. Unfortunately, it was a bit of a harsh takeover. There was a female that was left, and possibly one of the leopards may have eaten her mate, or maybe the crocodile even, but whoever it was, unfortunately this pair chased her out. It was quite a noisy affair, and they kept chasing her off. So we have some new holders of this territory around the dam. Okay, well let's continue up Mvubu Road. Mvubu actually meaning hippo. Good morning, Richard and Lisa. Good morning to you. And welcome on board once again. It's good to hear from you. Just have a quick check around here to see if anyone's been walking around here. Ah, so there are some lions. There are some lions just inside Buffalo. So I wonder if Nduno was seeing if he could get some scraps. Sounds like they've got a baby buffalo. They're eating.
But it looks like I'm losing but yeah, we'll try. I'm sure that
Just want to see what's going on with the leopard. Still around Buckles of Cook Line. So a little distance. So there's going to be 3 vehicles there. Still going to keep a check around here because I'm still convinced that there's a leopard here. I don't think it'll be the same leopard as that side. Could just be that someone pops out of the bushes here. And that's the beauty of the bush. You don't know what's around, you don't know who's around. You can just go off the tracks that are on the road, signs and smells and things like that in the bush. It certainly is quite exciting. Just keep it ear to the radio and see what's going on there. So just a few questions from Richard and Lisa, wondering the life expectancy and populations and pride sizes of the cats. And the 3 big cats that we have here, the leopard, the cheetah and the lion. The lions, we're looking at an age, they're all pretty much around the same, sort of in the early teens, late teens. So lions probably around early teens, leopards into the late teens, cheetah maybe around mid to late teens as well. So an old cat would be certainly around 16, 17, 18, something like that. And generally leopards are solitary as well as cheetah. Generally, but there are some exceptions. Females, when they have cubs, and they'll have cubs for most of their life. In the cheetah, the males may form a coalition just like the lions, a group of young males, 2 or 3 young males, usually brothers. Whereas the leopards, the males tend to be solitary and really find males together. That's what's quite interesting about the Sabi Sands. Sometimes you do, on occasion. The lions are the true social cat. You find lions in prides more often than not. You can still find a single lioness or a single lion, can happen, but generally they are a pride animal, living as a family so that they can pull down large prey, and that's one of the reasons why these cats coexist together in the same area, because they tend to target different sized animals and they tend to come to a different method. With a different method. And for anything to exist together that may eat, or that the food that they eat may overlap, they have to have a special skill or particular diet. Just losing a little bit of comms here. just got to be careful because I think they're somewhere a little bit further along from here. We don't want to bump into them. Hippos have been walking along here. Population size. Apparently leopards outnumber lions about 4 to 1 in Africa. We should go along here. I think the last take this branch out the road. Ooh. Elephants have been around here, but that's quite an old branch, probably just broken off and slightly eaten, but doesn't seem to be too much eaten from it. But not very fresh at all. Nice fresh dung. Lion dung, by the looks of it. I'm definitely not going to be picking that one up. Unfortunately, the ground's not really registering any tracks, but it's still pretty wet. Probably sometime last night. You're able to get that on camera. Yeah, we can maybe just sit from there. There you go. It's quite hard here, and the soil's not very thick. It's not really registering too much. But certainly a different shape, and that's one of the differences between the herbivores, carnivores and omnivores. The omnivores and carnivores tends to be quite barrel shaped, whereas your herbivores maybe pellets or almost circular, like if you think about the rhino or the elephant, it's quite big balls. But with the carnivores it tends to be quite cylindrical, barrel shaped, and maybe even tapered at the end. Maybe they came through here last night. Maybe someone's just joining them. Hendry, come in. Hendry, just checking. I've been having a lot of static on my radio. We're still on standby, just checking.
There is no standby for now. It will be only the one. But I don't know if you will manage to do it. Just copy. Now 16, extend, and then just
sorry, I wasn't getting too much confirmed. We can approach now?
No, you can't because that is
I was just getting a lot of static. Confirm we're still standby.
You are the only standby. Jack is getting in now, so but I don't know if it's north of there is some there, but yeah, might be.
Copy. And the visual of the Ingwe, is he still around?
But it's not far from
Confirm still on the southern side of Buffelshoek Cut Line. Oh, lost him.
because they keep moving up and down, so yeah, might be close by the Katlan or cross the Katlan.
Okay. We're not picking up too much, there's a lot of interference there, but from what I can gather the lines are on the other side, so we probably won't be able to see the lines from Buffelshoek Cut Line. But the leopard may have come back over the cut line, Buffelshoek Cut Line. But he apparently keeps moving, stopping and changing. Well, there's still 3 vehicles there, so we're going to stay on this side for now. Maybe we hit it lucky. It'd be nice to see Nduna, and as I say, he's one of the 2 boys from Karula, the resident female, but he's sticking around a lot more by the looks of it. He pops up more than his brother does. Mishu. Hello, lady. Female kudu just in the bush here. I really wouldn't go that way if I were you. It's probably not a good idea. Wonder where the rest of her herd is. Bless you. I can hear the vehicles moving, so They're somewhere up ahead of us. Now, that female kudu wouldn't be an easy target for a leopard, but a lion might just take it on. But if they've already got something to eat, then they probably wouldn't. She's moving that way now. Good for her, she's being very wary. But Richard and Lisa, lion pride sizes, it can vary. It really can vary. We've had a lion pride of 2, and unfortunately one of the females died. And it sounds like she got an injury to her leg and it went septic, possibly from fighting another lion. And unfortunately she died, I think, about a week and a half ago from the 2+1 pride. The male also died. So it's just one female left now. Now she might be on her own for a long time. She might allow a male to mate with her, and if she has cubs, then she might increase the pride again. Could be that she's not successful and she ends up losing her life as well. It really just depends. She may try and enter another pride, although it doesn't happen very often. They don't usually accept other females, but if they do, it can happen occasionally. It could happen. You can have lion prides anywhere up to around 30 sometimes. Some of the larger prides up in Botswana have grown so large that they can actually pull down bull elephants. Which is also not an easy feat, and I don't think we actually have any lion prides that are that size that could pull down. Just looking for tracks here to pull down elephants here. But I'll tell you something, the elephants still don't like them hanging around. They will chase them off. Legs from it. Good morning, Lex. Can you let me know when there's space? We'll see if we can try and see from opposite the line. Copy that, thank you. As soon as we're here, let's try Gallego shortcuts and we'll do a loop around here. You never know, we might be lucky with a honey badger. I've been seeing tracks along here. Here's... ooh, there we go. Some leopard tracks. That must be in dunas then. If I can find a nice one, I'll be able to show you, but unfortunately, again, it's just a little bit too thinner soil. It's not really registering too well. We do, however, also have some rhino tracks. Got hippo there. Actually, we might be able to do it here. We've got to be on the other side, hey? I think that might be thick enough there. What do you think? It should come out. There's some leopard tracks just there. Let me see if I can drive on the other side of them. Let me show you. This is also a very busy junction. There's a lot of animal movement here too. Let's see how we do with this one. Okay. I just thought I heard something. Okay, we can give it a go. Unfortunately, it's probably still not great light. Can you see this here at all? Not really. We're right on top of it.
No.
Kind of. You can see the 3 lobes here. And 1, 2, 3, 4 toes of the male leopard. I can try and show you, just in case it's not coming out too well. Just watch behind me. There we go. Here we go. So this is what you should be seeing. So the 3 lobes, because it is a true cat, and it comes up here, which is basically what we're seeing here. And then this is the 3 lobes just here. And then the toes pretty close to the back pad, whereas on the lions, the toes are quite a lot further away. Here's the lion. And these toes are much further away from the pad. There's a lot more of a space. And this is actually quite a neat track. It's quite a circular track, whereas this tends to be quite elongated. So that's how you tell the leopard. And also, still not entirely convinced, but I've also been told for a male you can draw a circle in the pad here, and if you can draw the circle, the pad will turn in. And if you have a look here, it actually kind of does. If I can sort of draw a circle here, the pad's going in just here. Whereas a female, if you draw the circle, the pad comes out. But I haven't had a chance to really check it, but that might actually help to determine if it's especially a young male. It might just help you distinguish between the male and female. But certainly the size, and Induna's getting big now. I mean, this is what, about 9 centimetres. 8 or 9 centimetres. So he's becoming quite a big leopard, and I think these are probably his. So he came from down there, which is sort of cementing the fact that I think that leopard, Induna, is not the leopard that's been running around Gary Dam this morning. There we go. I'm just trying to see. I don't think we're going to be able to see a nice hippo. Actually, can you see this one here? We're a little bit too far away. This is the hippo track. 4 toes. And the back pad. Not quite, but there's the 4 toes. And hippos walk like this, whereas most animals will walk 1 foot behind the other. So you've got this tram line effect. So here's the 1 foot, and there's the 2nd foot. That one actually might be able to see the 4 toes again, and the back pad there. I just want to drive a little bit further along. Just to see who was making, sounded like possibly quite a large bird flapping or something. Oh, there's some lion tracks just here too. Sure, there's a lot of movement last night. So just to update you, the guy said that Mduna's crossed back over, he may cross back over this side, but he keeps flitting over Buffelshoek cut line. The lions are also just on Buffelshoek's side. So when there's a space, we'll just have a drive-by and see if we hit it lucky, but while we're waiting, we might as well just check out this area. I thought maybe there's a possibility of seeing some ground hornbills or maybe a stork or something like that. It certainly sounded quite large, the wing flaps. Whatever it was. But funnily enough, I didn't hear any calls last night, no lions calling or anything. And they were probably closer than what lions were the other day. They've been calling. Okay, well, let's take a ride down towards the western side of Buffelshoek cut line. We'll come back along the cut line itself. Zebra tracks, no more lion tracks. Probably double back on himself in that way. Hello, guinea fowl. Yep. Quite a small flock there. It's actually thought that the guinea fowl are becoming quite reduced in numbers because of the loss of habitat. Like the grasslands, searching for insects and seeds and things like that. I know a number of people said that the flocks seem to be getting smaller and smaller. Hi Laurie, good morning to you. I'm very observant. Saying the lion tracks in the book don't show the claws. Can they retract them? And what about the leopards? And that is spot on, Laurie. They are. Oh, there's some lion tracks. I'll tell you what. As soon as we've done the leopard, let's show you the size of the lion. Hopefully, I won't drive on it. Can you see it outside? Somewhere in the middle. We'll jump out and just see if we've jumped on it. Ooh. It would be good. Okay, sorry, I'm just laughing because I nearly stepped on it. No, it's just here. Look at the size of this. Okay, the substrate is just a little bit thicker, so it's registering a lot better, but you can see about the same size as my hand here. Whereas the leopards was probably about this sort of size. So here's the pad, and there will be the 3 lobes, and the toes here, much further away from the pad. This was quite a big male. So that is the lion track. So we'll jump aboard and I'll tell you about the claws. I just want to do a bit of a lap around here, maybe down on the other side. I'm hoping those birds are still going to be around. Maybe we'll have a look in the trees. Keep your fingers crossed. Cool, everyone's aboard. Awesome. So the cats do have, they're actually called, or the technical term for it is protractile, because when the claws are in the sheaths, they're actually relaxed, and they actually, it's there's the long-tailed shrikes there that we heard this morning, just in case anyone hasn't seen them. Used to be known as magpie shrikes. That was the birds that were calling just around by the dam. Beautiful liquid whistle. So they use energy to push the claws out, which is why it's known as protractile claws. Both the lion and the leopard have them. It's the cheetah is the only one of the true cats that still have the 3 lobes in the back pad I showed you. But the cheetah constantly have the claws out for extra grip when they're running, chasing after prey. the rest of the cats, the true cats, do. The only exception to that rule. And that generally is the case. If you have kind of a rule, there is always a few exceptions to that particular rule. Wow, it's been a long time since I've been down here. But that is one of the main differences between cats and dogs, is that dogs also have the claws out constantly. I'm sure you're aware if you check your pet dog's feet or the tracks, you'll see the claws. And if you check your cat, also they sheath the claws. Keeps them nice and sharp and in good condition. I did also hear there was a wild dog denning, pack denning, somewhere in Buffelshoek. I'm not entirely sure where. I'm not entirely sure which pack. But if they are denning, I'm hoping we're going to see many more sightings of the wild dog during the winter time especially. I should have opened my mouth and jinxed it this morning. I can't believe this cloud that's set in. It looked like it was going to be a beautiful day. No cloud in the sky. It's almost as if the mist has just risen and just become cloud. Legs come in. Legs come in. Sorry legs, if you can copy me, I'm getting a lot of static. If it's possible for us to have a drive-by, it can give me 2 clicks. Saying it's possible for us to now take a drive-by. Can't see any of the birds, unfortunately. I must have flown off. Good morning, Paula. Welcome on board as well. Wondering if lion, leopard and cheetah all fight. And they're not great lovers of each other, that's for certain. Some lion prides will kill cheetah and leopard. Leopard may kill cheetah. You don't really hear of cheetah killing adult lion and leopard. Fortunately, cheetah are kind of at the bottom of the run when it comes to things like that. because they are so slim and agile. They don't carry any extra fat or muscle on them, so they're not as stocky as the other cats, and that does serve as a disadvantage to them. I saw them, I think they're probably somewhere around here. Hey, I saw the vehicles. Somewhere around here, there's a lot of vehicle tracks here. This could be where the leopard in Duna popped out. Around here. Just underneath that tree, I can see the vehicle. Yeah. Where is the vehicle? So apparently in Duna may have crossed over. Hoping we might be able to just see him somewhere in here. Morning. Let's see if Lex knows where he went. How are you doing?
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, very well, thank you. Sorry? Uh-huh. Oh, is that the lions? Oh, the leopards in there. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Sure. And the lions, are they much further in? Ah, okay.
Sounds like they just finished the kill.
Oh, okay.
So they might get up.
Well, that'd be helpful.
I'm going round to the lines now.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay.
No
Radio's
worries.
not working so well.
No, I've just been getting a lot of interference around here.
Okay.
Cool, thanks, Lex. I'll just move down for you. Okay. So, apparently the leopard's just at the base of the tree here, and the lions are much further in. We'll see if we can see him. Unfortunately, we're not able to cross over the road. The animals are able to move around wherever they want to. But we humans not. It's just at the base that we can walk in. Now the thing is with cats, is they may just be sleeping for a little while and then all of a sudden they might decide just to get up and move. So it's worth just having a drive-by just in case. Morning!
There's 5 rhino on the road.
Oh,
if
is
you're
there?
interested, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How far back?
1.5 kilometres.
Oh,
On this
wonderful.
road.
Oh, thank you so much. Enjoy. But the situation can change so rapidly, and that as soon as, especially if they're on the boundary here, they can change and they can just cross over quickly. They can just wake up. The lions are a little bit further back. And that's what I'm seeing. The gentleman just on the road just said there's rhinos somewhere on the road just further back. It's going to drive down and then we might just be able to come back and see if the situation has changed. Lex also said that it sounds like the lions might be finishing their kill, and who knows where they might go from there. They might go and sleep. Depends on how big a kill it was. They said it was a baby buffalo, but they didn't say how old. But if it was this year's, there won't be that much. So they may still be hungry. They may go and sleep. It is a little bit overcast, so if it's cool like this, there's any possibility that those that didn't get their fair share might try and hunt again. So we shall see. But at least we now know the spot, so we can come back and have a look. He said the rhino weren't too far down here, so let's see. Morning. So if everybody thinks the lions to come across, maybe if we all collectively think it might happen. I hope so. My worry is, if there's been a lot of vehicle activity, which there seems to have been, then the rhino may have moved off the road, and we may have the same problem if they've gone this side. I just saw some movement through there. vehicle stopped down there, so I wonder if that's where they are. Legs, man. Yeah, it looks like the lines actually came right through here. Some more line tracks just here. Sleeping down here, but there's some more line tracks here actually, heading this way. Which station on Buffalo Cut Line? Just east of Gowrie Cut Line. Do you have a locker? Copy, can I join you? Oh, there's the buffalo herd. Have a quick look, because these are at least here, but it sounds like the rhinos might be crossing over. We'll see if we can come back and have a look at these guys, just in case they do disappear on us. But it looks like they're slowly heading down towards Gowrie Dam. Slowly. Let's go and have a quick look. Because it's been a while since I've actually seen rhino. And it sounds like it's the crash of 5. So I need to post one of us down by where Induna's lying up, so I'm sure at some stage you might just wake up and you may go south over Buffalo Cut Line. And one of us at the buffaloes and one of us at the rhinos. Okay, was I dreaming or was there a car here? Can you still see it? Sorry? Having a lot of optical illusions today. Okay, let's see. Tracks here. I'm sure I could actually see the vehicle. I get the feeling it's going to be one of those days. I should really have seen the vehicle by now. I saw it on the other side. These are all the buffalo tracks. Looks like that rhinos have crossed over as well. Which is what my worry was, because this road is quite busy. Maybe just driving this way might just give us a better angle. Because sometimes if you drive up and down a road, sometimes an animal can be hidden behind a bush. And if you drive one way, it's completely hidden, and you drive the other, suddenly it can be seen. This is where the buffalo came over. It's possibly the same herd that have lost a calf to the lions. Unless they were a little bit further on, because we're very close to our boundary on that side, so unless the rhinos were a little bit further on into Torchwood, which could well have been. It did sound like over the static that vehicle was with something, so maybe it wasn't. Okay. So let's do a lap. We'll go around, see if the buffalo is still there. And say hi to them. And we might just go around Gowrie Dam again, see if there's any movement. And then let's see if we can head back along Buffalo Cut line. See if India's going to pop out. Oh look, the buffalo is still here. Woo! We've got some animals. I was half expecting the buffaloes to disappear on this too. It seems to be like it's going to be one of those days. And good morning to you, Diana. Welcome on board this morning. I'm wanting to know, are the buffaloes, are the herds stopping the wildebeest from expanding in the area? And the wildebeest herds, they actually eat different things. And they'll eat probably different parts of the grass if they do eat the same species of grass. And quite often, buffalo will flatten areas which will allow animals to get to some of the other species of grass. So they can actually help. But this area is not really the best habitat. It's a little bit too bushy. They still, this is their habitat. It's a savanna grassland, but it's just a little bit too dense, really, for wildebeest here. They tend to like the more open areas. I'm hoping at some stage we might be able to get in front of them, or at least get around them so we can actually see the front of them. This is the back of the herd, slowly making their way down towards Garrow Dam by the looks of it. Just so we can get just a little bit closer. And I think, unfortunately, because it's not really the quite right habitat for them, unfortunately they are losing numbers to, especially I think the lions are one of the biggest causes. And what's amazing me is that when the baby wildebeest were very small, oh look at the babies in front. Oh, I think this must have been the herd that lost one of the youngsters. But what is amazing is that when those calves are very young, they all seem to survive, and then all of a sudden, once one was taken, 5 or 6 of them, and I think there's only one left out of 7. 5 or 6 of them were taken. Actually, you can maybe just swing the camera around and see exactly what we mean when we say they flatten the grass, with the numbers that are moving through here. There's a Burchell starling also looking for insects that have been disturbed. It might just have been moving out of camera now. But you can see all the grass where they've just been walking, all flattened. Okay. Looks like they're moving more to the right, so I might be able to try and get in front of them. Now the buffalo, as we were saying about the difference in diet with the cats, a leopard, if it was lucky, if they were the right circumstances were there, maybe a big leopard, male leopard, could possibly take down a very young buffalo. But an adult buffalo really isn't a match. Really isn't a match for them. But that's one of the reasons why the lions work together, so they can bring down big prey, and buffalo are definitely one of the preferred prey of lion if they are able to hunt it. But it's not the only thing they'll eat. I'll actually give you an idea of the size of this herd. It spans quite far. And I'm wagering there's probably a few off in the bushes that we're not seeing. But they know the way, they're heading down towards the dam. Look at that. And look how wide those horns are on the bull on the left of the screen now. Pretty large. Look at that. Wow. Hi, Laurie. Last time wanting to know the there's one with the tail missing. The part of the tail missing. If the mother was part of this herd, would she be calling out for a baby that's missing? Quite possibly. Quite possibly.
The big boy behind us.
Oh, we've got we've got a straggler behind us. Here he comes. But she may have been calling last night. The kill may have happened sometime last night, and she may have called for a couple of hours. I think it just depends on the circumstances of their life. Now, if you've got a female that, if it's her firstborn, she may call longer than a female that maybe if it's her fifth or sixth, and maybe she just lost a couple of young to lion or other things. So I think it will depend a lot on that. And I remember when we watched the Nkuhumas taking down a buffalo, and it was probably about 9-10 months old, maybe a year old, something like that. And the mother didn't stick around too long. She hightailed it out of there. There he goes. Let's see if we can catch up with the herd again. Any stations interested, the Shlambev and Yari are slowly fambering along Gowrie cut line towards Gowrie Down. Doesn't sound like there's any change so far with the lions and the leopard. Oh, sorry, mister. I'll stop here. See if I can actually just pull a bit further around off the road. Probably say, why are you following me? I don't want to be followed. Okay, they're sticking to the road, so I think what we need to do is try and drive around if we can. We may be lucky enough if we see if we can go around. How's it?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, good. Still a lot of static. Is there any change that side?
Nothing changed.
Nothing changed.
They've still got
A little bit.
of meat left there. So.
Okay. Okay.
And I don't know whether the male, I think that leopard might get up and go and investigate where the meat was.
That's what I'm wondering.
Further in.
I was hoping you'd sort of make a quick check across the road, but I don't think it's going to happen. There was some monkeys calling down by the dam earlier, and we did about 3 laps, and I couldn't see anything, no tracks or anything. So I'm just going to maybe drive along the Vubu Road again and just see and try and get the front of this herd if we can.
Okay.
We'll see how we go.
Good.
I'll see you later.
Good day.
Okay, so let's go down on Vubu Road again. Like saying there's no change. trying to confirm what I was hearing, because I was getting a lot of static on the radio this morning. We go around Mvubu Road, come down towards the dam, and hopefully time it right to try and get the buffalo at the dam. I also want to just check this fire break because of those lion tracks. I want to see, because I did also see white tail or something like that flicking earlier as we drove down towards where the rhinos might have been. Probably a poodle or something. I just literally just saw a flash. Really is quite amazing though. So I'm seeing all the autumn colours as we're going into beginning winter. Someone went off here. You may have heard us saying fire break, and unfortunately as it gets drier and drier we are going to be going into the fire season, and these fire breaks are here just to try and stop the spreading of the fire as much as possible. So if there is a fire, even though it is useful in an area like this, also cause a lot of damage. So we want to try and control it as much as possible so it doesn't do any damage to the lodges or anything like that. Sign of the lions crossing this side. Good morning, Anas. Welcome on board this morning. I'm wondering how I got to where I am today. For those people who may be new to the channel, I'm not sure about my background. I'm actually from the UK. Maybe my accent gives it away. But I originally started my life in the UK, grew up in the UK, and I've been out in South Africa for just over 5 years now. And I've always had a passion for wildlife. And I've always said from word go, from when I was very young, I've always said I wanted to live out in the wild. It was always my dream. And every step I've taken through my career has helped me to get to this point. And I studied zoology at university, which was definitely the animal behaviour side of things I really started to enjoy. And I helped out at my local wildlife park. And all through my studying I went to help there. And after that I had a full-time job there for a couple of years, working with some of the larger animals like rhinos and tigers and things. And I learned a lot about animal behaviour from there. But it's always been, the pull of the wild has always been there, and it was certainly, for me, one of the biggest turning points was going out to Sumatra and camping out in the jungle. And seeing all the signs of the animals. Now I didn't see too much in the way of animals themselves, but I saw a lot of signs and tracks and things like that. And that really was enough for me. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. And being able to distinguish between the tracks and what the animals were eating and things like that. And I learnt about the possibility of doing that in Africa. And there was month courses and 6 month courses. And I thought that that's perfect. I'd love to go out for a decent amount of time. So 6 months sounds quite good. And hopefully I'll be able to stay out there and live life and really get to learn what life is like in South Africa. So I packed my bags, came out to South Africa, did the course, and did the course for 6 months, and then placed you in a lodge for 6 months. And after the year, I kind of forgot to go home. I organised myself a work visa because I loved it so much, being a guide. Oh, slender mongoose. There he goes, across the road. Too quick. Is he around? Nope. They never stick around, those guys. Always wary. So I was a guide for probably about 3.5 years, 4 years. Plus the 6 months training, and then I moved here, which is somewhere I've always wanted to be, especially for the leopards. You don't see leopards like this in many places, and as relaxed as what they are around the vehicles. It really was, and still is. Quite awesome when we do find the leopards. I love spending a lot of time with them and learning about them. Still no sign. That's a shame. I was hoping we might be lucky. Maybe just somebody popping out the bush there. This is where I find all the buffalo have disappeared. Here they are. Oh, actually just cutting through the bush now. Here they come. I want to try and just see if we can get maybe in here, because I want to try and see the front of the herd as much as possible. Let's see if they'll actually walk around us. We might just be cutting this corner out. Oh, there's a little baba there, just behind the bush. There he is. It looks like Lex is down towards the dam now. I'm sure he'll give us a call if he sees anything. So I think we're going to be, once the herd passes, we'll head off into the east and maybe have a look around Buffalo's Hook Dam. You might be able to hear the sound of the oxpeckers calling. Like churr, churr. What was it someone said to me the other day? A sea of horns. If you look carefully, there are some that have those white spots and yet some don't. We still don't know what they're for. There's a little baby just coming into view here. And the calf's just behind her, just to her right. Red-billed oxpecker combing through the fur there. Now when a female has a calf, her status does increase in the herd and they tend to move to the front of the herd where the best grazing is. But there is a hierarchy still and you do get, wow, her horns are huge, there's a female in front of us. Look at the spread on those horns. It's quite impressive. Oh, and we got a bit of mating as well. Although, actually that looks like another bull. I think he was trying to display dominance. And it is normal for males to do this actually, especially if there's been a bout of fighting. Yeah, that male is walking away now. And giraffes are also one of those species that the male will try and mount the other male if they've been fighting, and then the more dominant of the two will do that. And it serves as practice for them. It is actually quite normal. There we go. So there will be a dominance hierarchy with the males and the females. More dominant ones being at the front of the herd, as I say, where the better grazing is and it hasn't been trampled by everyone at the back. Oh, there's another little baby there as well. Just that in front of us. Should be coming to shop very soon. Getting checked out. So if anybody has heard or has any ideas, there has been a couple suggested, but I haven't been able to find anything to suggest it's a disease. Someone said it could even be just rubbing around the eyes. So some have it and some don't. Some have it more than others. Turn around again. Better to see the faces rather than the back ends. So when we were driving behind them, kept looking back at us, and you can see there's still a few looking at us. But the majority didn't really care about us, and the fact just sitting there rather than driving also helps to relax the animals. See this one here, look. I'm not quite sure about you. Not really too bothered though, you can see us continuing to spar.
Go ahead, Ben. Dixon, I wanted to ask you, is that when you're still in Great Telegram? No, I do it for something. Don't know where he is. No, we saw he's somewhere on Tim John's Dam in the first second.
Texan seems to think that the crocodile is no longer at Gowrie Dam. And I must admit we haven't seen it for quite a while now, or any sign of it.
There's something I should have pulled out of that car all my road.
Hi Laurie, once again. An interesting question there, wondering where the oxpeckers, where they decide to nest. Because they seem to lead quite a nomadic life. And I think for the oxpeckers, especially in this area, they can pretty much find food in this area, excuse me. So they might not visit the buffaloes every day. They might visit maybe a giraffe or an impala or a zebra or wildebeest. So there's plenty of animals that they can actually go and visit, even the rhino and the hippo. So even though it looks like they lead a nomadic life, and they'll generally do most things with the animals, so they may court on the animal, they'll feed on the animal, they may even mate on the animal, and they may even roost on the animal if there's not enough trees available. So in some areas the only thing that they will do in trees is nest, but here you tend to find them roosting and nesting.
Morning, everybody. Is there anybody on Nancy's side?
So I think it just really depends on the suitability of the tree, because they do know they're going to find food here. And just to actually add to that as well, they do live in families. So you'll find a pair with helpers, maybe their offspring from the previous year, and they'll help to rear the chicks of the next generation, just to make sure that they do find enough food for those chicks. A few head flashings there. I think we're still going to take the time getting down to the dam, so let's head off towards Buffelshoek. Have a check around there. Maybe those rhino that was seen. Maybe have a look around Cheetah Cut Line. Stations, the Schlambeer and Yari slowly mobile towards Gary Dam. Now on Junction Central and Gary Cut Line. We're going to draft dip. Looking out for that honey badger. This is a perfect day to see the nocturnal species if they are out and about. This time of year, being overcast, you never know, you might be lucky. And in case we do have any new viewers, I'm not too sure how to send through questions. It's always great to hear from you. It's always great to have questions. And to do that, you need to just send through an email to questions@wildersafari.tv. I do want to try and do another loop around if we can. Buffelshoek Cut Line, Buffelshoek Dam, Cheetah Cut Line. Let's see if we can end back around the quarantine open area. Going to stick around. Be able to swing the camera around. Oh, he's gone. There was a black-headed oriole just sitting in the tree here. I wanted to just stop past him because otherwise, sometimes if you stop right next to them, reverse, they know they've been spotted, but it didn't work. It's been a while since we've had a bit of a dung quiz. So, I wonder, are you able just to zoom in? Yeah, there we go. I will use this one. Zoom in on the dung in the road. Oh. It's just on the end of the bonnet. There we go, that one there. Maybe we'll just zoom in on that. So if you want to play along at home, we should try and do a bit of a dung quiz, or a tracking quiz. This one should be fairly easy. Let's send through what your answers might be to questions@wildersafari.tv. Let's see who comes back with the right answer the first. Cool. I'll see if I can find a slightly harder one for you. Let's take a drive along Yala Road North, pop around Hook Dam, see how we're doing for time. But I would like to try Cheetah Creek Line too. There's a lot of that dung around. Give you a clue. There's some on this road as well. If anyone's actually tried Buffalo's Hook Dam. So it did look like there was at least one set of line tracks heading down Buffalo's Hook Line. I lost them. There's a lot of tyre tracks over that road as well, which doesn't help. Look at what the storm did. Wow. Seen that tree down like that before. It really has been quite incredible. Even now, just driving around and seeing all the damage. These trees have never seen winds like that before. That was a good, what would it be, about 3 weeks ago? Something like that. So I am hoping that the Gary gang will be back soon. We'll be able to catch up with them. And I believe Graham is heading back at some stage, either this week or next week.
Mark, the side, navigation switch from the bus to the side of the bus down
No tawny bodies lying up on the bank, or grey bodies at the water's edge. Everybody is gone. My word. I don't think I've ever seen Buffles Hook Dam so quiet. There's possibly one hippo. I see some ripples. Okay, something is kicking off here. Okay, let's go to the other side, see what's going on down there. Egyptian goose, not happy. Could be because there's another. I was going to say, could be because there's another Egyptian goose. Okay. On the other side now. Oh, it gives us an opportunity to have a look down here. Wow, this water is also receding quite a lot. There they go, they're over on the bank there now. Oh, very, very skew. That's obviously what they're upset about. Sorry. I think that's what they complain about. They seem to settle down now. And that's one of them is a chick. They're preening next to each other now. And I'm not seeing any movement here that could have caused them to fly off. When we first arrived here, there was the one that was calling and then the other two landing, and that was a very similar situation that we had the other day. And the one kept getting bullied by the other two. And just the pure fact that they're sitting together like this now see what they're going to do. It still doesn't look completely happy. Yeah, I think it is. They're disputing the territory. Or they're trying to push the chick out. That one does look slightly smaller. In case anybody missed what they are, they're Egyptian geese. Oh, and there's the hammerkop. Straight ahead. And JJ, if you're watching, I've been asking around for a hammerkop nest for you. And no one seems to know of any other one apart from the one on Little Gowrie. Straight up ahead. There's the hammerkop. Responsible for building extremely large nests in one go. Hammerkop meaning hammerhead, kop head in Afrikaans. Okay, shall we continue on, because I'm quite keen to try cheetah cutline, just in case we have some luck with those rhinos. And hopefully we can get some answers to the dung question too. Hi Francie, good morning to you. Wondering where the hippos go and what do they eat. And the hippos, actually, maybe we should try that little cut line there.
Did you find it?
It sounds like the lines have moved off. Struggling to find them now. Sorry? Ah, let me level everything out. The hippos, they sleep underwater and only the nostrils might show just above the surface of the water if they are sleeping. They can hide themselves in the water extremely well. And as you saw, you may have seen right at the start of drive, the hippos out of the water sleeping, especially this time of year. The sun isn't as harsh, it doesn't damage the skin as much as it does in the summer. So you may find them just basking in the mud, on the water's edge, or even out of the water. Sometimes you'll see that. The water is there to protect their skin, or they use the water to protect their skin as much as possible. They do have almost like a sun lotion as well, which is antibacterial and antifungus too, all in one, that they secrete, and it almost looks like they're bleeding to also help protect their skin in the height of summer especially. They eat grass. They do eat grass and they do leave the safety of the water at night. Usually, again, because it's cooler and they don't need to worry about the skin drying out. But again, this time of year you may find hippos out and about during the day, especially on an overcast day like this. They may leave the water to go and feed, and as winter gets further into the winter, should I say, as it gets more into the season, you may find them leaving the water at this time of day because there's not as much food close to the dam available. They have to search far and wide to find enough food. And good morning to Ed. Welcome on board this morning. Wondering how they determine the populations of the animals in the park. And they usually do a count, usually do a census. I forget how often, it could be yearly. But they'll try and do a count, sometimes by helicopter, sometimes just people on the ground. Side. Remember, we'll stop just on the other side of this dip. So I just want to go right up to Cheetah Cut Line and just have a quick look down there. But I think those rhinos must have been much further on. I should have found some tracks on the road where that vehicle was standing, so I think I must have misheard him. I heard what I wanted to hear, not what was actually being said. Coming back with Rhino and Weepat saying kudu for the dung quiz. Nice try. Not quite right though. Kudu being much more. You're looking at pellets for kudu, probably about this sort of size. But definitely we're in the right category, a herbivore. And well done to Cheryl and Linda coming back with the right answer. Let's see if there's any more coming through, and I'll give the right answer as to what it was. At least you could see it was a herbivore. And you'll... Go ahead. Say you'll kick yourself when you hear what it actually is. So it looks very similar to a domesticated animal. And they actually smell the same. Maybe that gives it away a little bit. Good morning to you, Ronaldo. Over down in Cape Town. Good to hear from you. And you were joining us when we went to see the hyenas and their pups. And do they change den sites? Or do they stay until the hyenas are grown? And there's no time limit. And it just depends on how the clan feel. Maybe if they get discovered by another predator. Okay, I've got some rhino tracks heading in there. I've got some rhino tracks. Ah.
They headed north from Chittakatla, heading to the north.
Just have a poke my nose in here just to see. They looked fairly fresh tracks. The rhinos have been sleeping. I'd expect them to be here if they were. Unfortunately, I think someone was just saying, I think that vehicle was just leaving. Saying that they've just crossed over, just heard on the radio now. Did come from that side. May or may not have been the ones he was talking about. They do look at one set of tracks that's fairly small, so maybe it was not with the car. So as I was saying, it is difficult to say. You can't really say, are they going to stay there for a certain amount of time. They can stay for many months in one den. They may stay only a few weeks in one den, and it doesn't really matter what age the cubs are at. They may change den sites regardless of the age. I didn't see anything on our little trail that side either. Laurie saying zebra, and Wendy with the correct answer. Okay, I think we need to quickly change the battery, so we'll be back very shortly. Apparently there's been no change, but what I can hear With the leopards, no one said that the leopards moved, but it sounds like the lions have moved from the carcass. I'm still looking around for them. I'm not convinced that the rhinos that we're seeing crossing over are the same rhinos that were here, but they might well have been. Not wholly convinced. I think they're in the bush here somewhere. And I think it's just the 2, whereas the 5 that we're seeing. Again, no tracks, I think. It was further along Buffelshoek Cut Line and crossed over further up Cheetah Cut Line. That's what it sounds like, yeah, because these tracks are very small, even for the young female. So I'll put you out of your misery. You're not too sure. It was buffalo. Buffalo dung. Looking like basically a cow patch. So they are distantly related to domestic cows. Really find other herbivores or even carnivore dung looking like that. It's the only one that really flattens out like a pat, like that. But well done for guessing. Well done for all the answers. Let's have a quick check down here. There they are, and that's the 2 that were sleeping. Got ourselves some rhino. And there's the little one. A little bit skittish though. You can see she's already moving off. I think this is the pair that we've seen on Mvubu Road. Remember, she was also a little bit skittish then too. That's the 2 that were sleeping. Too long ago. Let's see if I can sneak around here. We're going to give them quite a bit of distance. Let's see if they'll stick around a little bit. It just goes to show even rhino have different temperaments and different characters, and depends again if they're used to the area or not. He's probably about 3 years, maybe 2.5, 3 years, around that sort of age. You can see she's listening to us. Ear turned towards us. Look at her horn, different to the other females in the area. Our normal female that we see is a blunt-horned female. She's got quite a rounded tip. And she's some distance away from us now. And that's obviously the distance that she's happy with. As I say, there are some rhinos that you can park maybe 10-15 meters away from them. They really don't mind. Just depends on their life story and what they've been used to. And I remember seeing the young male, sorry, the young female, and that male that she hangs around with, usually part of the crash of 5, which I think must have been the 5 that were on the road, somewhere along the road, that crossed over into Buffelshoek. And I remember the first time we saw them, they're also a little bit skittish. And the more we saw them, the more they relax. Now, if we treat this female right and let her relax and continue on feeding, it looks like she's doing that now. And there comes the calf again. And hopefully the next time she has a vehicle approaching her, or even us, she may not be as skittish. You can see she's not moving away as quickly now. And still able to hear us, and that's one of the reasons why they have the ears so high up on their head. You can see now. You can see how useful it is, and their eyesight's very poor. She won't be able to see much of us from here. If she can see anything, it'll probably be a big blur. But her hearing is extremely good. And she can hold her head down and graze and still know what's going on around her. I'm just going to pull forward just a little bit. She's taking her time, so we might be able to just see her before she heads off into the bush. You can still see the little calf there. She's not heading off into the bush after all. Stations, I've got 2 in Combi, Guari Pan, just north of Guari Pan. We might be able to get another nice view of them. See if we can just move up a little bit more. As I say, I'm not going to put pressure on her. I'm going to let her keep to that pace. Like she's possibly heading towards the road now. She's listening to us again. I can maybe just pull off a little bit here. We might be able to see it past the trees without getting too close. There she goes. still just walking normally, so she's not running or anything. And this road does bend around, so let's just see if we get lucky one last time. I'm not going to follow her into the bush. I think we may just lose visual of her now. It's getting quite thick here. Yeah. Oh, there she is. Okay, I'll try and get in. Can you see her there? There she is. She's actually still going quite slow. Let's maybe just cut in here and just see. If we get ahead of her, she might just allow us to see her. So I don't want to go up behind her, maybe in front of her. Still keeping our distance. She might just allow. She's actually just there. Through here. Let's see. Can you see her through there? So we'll just let her decide. She's not moved. And this is our last spot if she changes direction. And we won't follow her. And I'm hoping she might just... She's relaxing. Hey, lady. The calf's certainly relaxed, he's lying down. Which probably doesn't help us. I'm quite interested to see if she will actually also lie down. Because that is when a rhino is most vulnerable, as is many animals. But for a rhino it does take a good few seconds. And they don't usually have many enemies. Again, a big pride of lions, if they're hungry enough, may tackle an adult rhino. But a baby rhino, especially a newborn, will be certainly attacked if the possibility arose where a hyena or lion could break it away from its mother, come in between the two. When a baby rhino is first born, it's actually about the size of a warthog, about 40 kilos. So it's tiny in comparison to what it's going to be. Looks like she's wanting to, but she's still not entirely sure. Now, many of you that may have been on game drives with me before, and I do talk about how docile and how placid these animals can be. And it is very true, but you always have to keep in the back of your mind that they are 2.5 tons. And if you do get on the wrong side of one, and they get very grumpy, and that one time they decide that actually they are going to put you in your place, they could cause some serious damage to you. But generally they are quite placid creatures, and if push comes to shove, if they're upset, they tend to run away rather than have a confrontation. But as soon as you lose respect for that animal, that's where the problem comes in. You see, she's still moving her ears around, she's still checking even on us. Are we going to harm her? Are we going to get too close to her? But all this is actually helping her realise actually we're not a threat to her at all. Unfortunately, I know we don't have a great view of her, but I don't particularly want to move at the moment because she's actually going through that process, and if we were to start up now, it may just make her decide that actually we are a threat and turn tail and leave. And unfortunately, the next time we see her, if we see her, she may also just decide that's it, I don't want to see a vehicle. Come on, lady, I'd like to see you. Well, I'll stay with her for about 5 minutes longer, and then we'll leave her, just in case she does just walk forward a little bit. She's getting irritated by some bugs by the looks of it. Oh, I think we're gonna have to say goodbye. I think she's realised we're not a threat, but I don't want to overstay our welcome either. And hopefully next time she sees us she'll be a little bit more relaxed as well. It's certainly a beautiful lady. And at least we managed to find them. It's great to find the tracks and then find the rhinos that they belong to. And thank you very much for all your questions. It's always great to hear from you wherever you are in the world. but I think she is going to stay hidden behind that terminalia there, the silver cluster leaf. But thanks for joining us here on Wild Earth. I hope you have some success with the cats in my absence. I'm going to be going on leave in the next couple of days, so thank you very much for joining me over the last couple of weeks or so. Hope you enjoy the drives with Mark. I'm sure you will. And as I say, I'll keep my fingers crossed that you get a chance to see Karoo and the cubs again, and maybe those lions will make their way down onto our middle part of the world too. I'll keep my fingers crossed for you. But wherever you are, take care. We'll see you here again on Wild Earth from myself and the rest of the crew. And this beautiful lady, goodbye for now.